This is a question that came up in the review section today, and I want to make sure you guys know how to do it before the final tomorrow, so we'll get right into it. So here you have the empirical rule to identify values and percentages of a normal distribution. When we were looking for it with one student, I couldn't find it, and then another student found it for me, so I want to make sure we go over it. So the links of movie files that are available for streaming are modeled using a normal distribution shown below. The mean of the distribution is 170.1 minutes, and the standard deviation is 19.4 minutes. So we need to fill out U, V, and W, and then choose with the empirical percentage what that happens to be. The basic idea is we start with our mean. So V is going to be equal to 170.1, and that's what goes in V. And then we're going to start mapping as we move by 19.4 each time. So first thing I would do, and I can't have the calculator up here, but the idea is I would start with my 170.1, and I would minus 19.4. So let's see, right here maybe. Just going to walk through the steps. So 170.1, and I'm going to minus, so I'm looking on this end for where the U is. So I minus 19.4, and that gives me 150.7. Well, that would technically be somewhere in this ballpark, so that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to minus 19.4 again. So I'm going to minus from this, and I'm going to do it underneath just so I can, 19.4. And then that's going to give me 131.3. Well, that would be somewhere over here. That's not where I want to be. So I'm going to minus 19.4 again. So let's just write right over this, minus 19.4. Let's see, that's going to be a 9.11. All right, 111.9, which fits with where U would be. So my U is, this value would be 111.9. That's my U. And I went 2, so this is 1 standard deviation. So I minus 1 SD. And then I minused another SD. And then I minused another SD. So then really, to get W, I really just need to take 170.1 and then add 3 of those. So I might say, let's see, plus 3 times 19.4. And so this would be easier, if I could show a calculator while doing this, but the idea is I'm going to use the Alex calculator and just do 171 plus 3 times 19.4. And that's going to give me 228.3. This is going to equal 228.3. And it does fit with where W is. So that's kind of a check for us to make sure that we're on the right track. And then we have to know what 3 standard deviations removed from the mean, plus or minus, is. And remember that the empirical rule is the rule that's called the 68, 95, 99.7 rule. And these are percentages, so this is another name for the empirical rule. One standard deviation, so 68% is the mean plus or minus 1 standard deviation. 95% is equal to the mean plus and minus 2 standard deviations. And then 99.7% is equal to the mean plus minus 3 standard deviation. So when I choose one, the one I choose is going to be 99.7% because I moved by 1, 2, 3, and then when I added 3, I ended up right where I needed to be. So that's the process. You just count. You can count down or up to where that happens to be. Here I counted down. I could have counted up by adding standard deviations. Sometimes one's easier to do than another. Rarely, we're just adding or subtracting. But figure out which one, and then you have to know how many standard deviations did you go, what is that worth on the 68, 95, 99.7%. And this means that 99.7% of all the movies through streaming are within this window of 111.9 minutes to 228.3 minutes. That answers the question. I'm going to get this posted tonight so you guys have it to practice with, and then into tomorrow. Keep practicing, and I hope everyone's ready for the final tomorrow.